season. Check out these graphics. This is on temperature. We have warmer autumns, which we are having. It'll delay and shorten the foliage season, so it just shifts the timing of the whole thing, and there'll be more variability of when we get that peak color and when and where exactly that happens. So temperature, of course, has a huge impact on how the foliage breaks down. Year by year, there's always been variability in how the foliage system will break down, but with climate change, it's changing more. That's changing it as well. Rainfall will also do it. If we get more summer rain, that can be a good thing in terms of foliage. That'll brighten the colors, may make it happen a little bit later, but if you get some good fall rainfall or late summer, early fall rainfall, that can help the color. Then what you really want are cool days, cool nights, warm summer days. That will increase the color because it traps the sugars out on the leaves. But if you get drought, and we had a really dry summer this year, that can cause the leaves to just drop and really not get much color at all. So again, lots of changes as the changing climate impacts the fall foliage season. And the trees themselves are shifting. This is gradual, of course, doesn't happen overnight or even over a year-to-year basis, more like on the time scale of decades. But the tree species themselves are shifting more northward, and that will change the kind of color we get as well. So again, climate change impacting that. Okay, we had low clouds and fog in the valley this morning. North winds pushed on that, burned it off, and there we go into the 80s once again. Portland hit 81 today. That is well above average, not a record for the day. Today's record, I believe, is 89, so we were well short of that. But we've got our, well, we don't have our sights set on it, but they are within sight. Record high temperatures over the next few days. 80s common throughout the metro area. You go down I-5, a little bit cooler because the fog held on longer, as we saw in the satellite imagery. 90s in the Dalles and Medford, 80s all across eastern Oregon. So here are the record highs for the next few days. We'll be close to it on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, our best chances of actually breaking the record high. Monday, we probably won't make that. That's a higher number, but our temperatures will be going down on Monday and Tuesday as well. And in case you're wondering, as David Mulcahy was yesterday and prompted me to look this up, when was our latest 80-degree day in Portland? October 21st, back in 2003. So we got a couple of weeks before that date, but there are lots of 80s in the forecast. There's also haze, too. Wildfire smoke from the northern Rockies, the North Cascades, pushing and coming down through eastern Oregon and into western Oregon over the weekend because we pick up some east wind. And then there's the Cedar Creek fire down in the central Oregon Cascades producing a lot of smoke for Eugene. There's really nothing that's going to break through this big area of warm air and high pressure, pardon me, that's along the west coast here. So we continue to be warm. We continue to be generally sunny and dry for sure. A little fog in the morning, then that burns off. A little patch down around the Umpqua Valley, but notice how the winds go more easterly as we go into Saturday and Sunday, and that's why we won't have any fog there at all. So we just don't see this big area of high pressure break down very much. It gets dented by this weather system here, and the pattern evolves a little bit. That'll cool us off, as that system might bring some sprinkles to Spokane. That's as close as it gets to us, and then that moves on down to the south, then high pressure rebuilds right over the top of it. So there's really not much of a change from this. Sunny, dry, and warm weather. We're going to be about 80, well, we are 81 degrees outside right now. Tomorrow morning we'll drop into the 50s, so the nights are cooling off plenty, and then we'll see highs in the low 80s tomorrow, just shy of the record values for tomorrow. But 84 on Saturday and Sunday would both be a record. There's the cooler weather on Monday and Tuesday. Then we begin to warm up again. Wednesday and Thursday, by next Thursday, we may be back in the 80s for yet another stint of warm weather.